Start recording. There we go. There's only 2 here, so we should be taking those away. So you can either erase them or you can cross them out. Either way, it doesn't matter. All right. What that gives us now is we have 4 protons. That means we have 4 positive things. We have 2 electrons. That gives us 2 negative things. What's the overall charge going to be? If we have 4 positives and 2 negatives, we get 2 positive. So we are going to put square brackets around. And at the top left corner, we're going to put 2 plus. Okay, and that goes right at the top corner, just like that. We now have a successful beryllium ion. And now we can go down and we can fill in everything else. This is just a little review of the names of the groups. Now, if you have forgotten the names of the groups, they are on page 4 in your book. Okay. On page 4. So if we look here, beryllium, if we were to find beryllium, beryllium would be right here, and it is in the group called the alkaline earth metals. Okay, so you're going to write that down. 5D. Those are the alkaline earth metals. It's group number 2. It is period number 1, 2, so it's in the second row. So it's period number 2. Its mass number, now this is where you need to be careful. Its mass number is not 9.0. That, remember, is the atomic mass. That's the average atomic mass. That is not the mass number. How do we find the mass number? The mass number is equal to the protons plus the neutrons. So it's going to be a whole number. So we have a 4 plus a 5, which gives us 9. It's just 9, not 9.0. And the symbol, it's still beryllium. And we're going to add in that it is 2 plus. Is good? So this is going to be like what you have on the quiz tomorrow. Okay? So quiz tomorrow will be similar to the quiz you had yesterday, but it will be about ions. Okay? Sodium ion. We're actually going to skip that one. I want to go to a negative ion. Okay, so I want to go to sulfide on the next page. It's atomic number 16, so there's 16 protons. And we start with 16 electrons, and then we will either add or take away. And we have 16 neutrons. 16 protons, 16 neutrons. There's our nucleus. We need to have 16 electrons. I'm sorry about that little weird thing there. I don't know what it's doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go around like a clock. 7, 8, 9, 10, and now we need a third circle, 11, 12, 13, 14, and then we have 15 and 16. Now we look at our outer shell and say, are we going to try to empty that outer shell? Whoa, what happened to my outer shell? It disappeared. Are we going to try to empty that outer shell, or are we going to try and fill it? Does that look closer to empty or closer to full? Closer to? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 electrons in the outer shell. What do we call that shell? We call that the, what's the word? Starts with a V. Valence shell. How many electrons would fill the valence shell? How much is full? 8 is full. So it would only take 2 to fill it up, or we would have to take away 6. What's going to be easier, adding 2 or taking away 6? Adding 2. So we're going to add in a 2 extra electrons. 1, 2. We'll add them in the spaces where they're missing. Okay. And now we can say, I don't have 16 electrons anymore. I now have 2 more. So that means I have 18 electrons. I have 16 protons, 18 electrons. Do I have more positive charge or more negative charge? I have more negative charge. So I'm going to have, and I've got 2 more negative. So this is going to be 2 negative. And I put my brackets around it. Oops. And on the outside of the brackets, I put the 2 negative right up near the top. Okay, right in that top corner there. You can close it all the way. Yeah, thanks. All right. So are we good? Does anyone want to see another example or two?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, thank you. You're like, God, yes, please, yes. All right. Let's go back then and do sodium, okay, on page 102. Atomic number is 11. So that means that, oh, we didn't finish up the group and stuff like that. I'm so sorry. The sulfide ion is in group number something or other. Let's go find it. Sulfur is in group number, let's look up. It's in group number 16. Okay? Sulfur is in group number 16. What period is it in? What row is it? Okay, the groups are the columns. And those are the rows. Okay, so let's grab that. And let's go see what row sulfur it's in. It's in row 1, 2, 3. This is getting very untidy. I'm going to have to erase soon. So it is in period number 3, row 3. The mass number is the protons plus the neutrons. So that's going to be 16 plus 16, which is equal to 32. The ion symbol then, this is sulfur. It becomes known as sulfide. It's 2 minus, because it's got two extra electrons. And please feel free to stop me at any point if I did something and you're like, how did that happen? Okay. Okay, now we can go back and do sodium. Back on page 102. Sodium is atomic number 11. What does that tell us? It tells us the number of protons. It also tells us the number of electrons in a neutral atom. Okay? So, 11 protons. Number of neutrons, we're told, is 12. 12 neutrons. And now we want to add in all the electrons in a neutral atom. So we have 11 protons and 11 electrons. So we're going to draw 11 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hi. Oxide is when you oxygen ion. Yeah. Perfect. Well, you do what we're doing here. So you would say either fill it or empty it. Okay. So we need to now either fill or empty that outer shell. When we are forming an ion, we need to fill or empty the outer shell. In this one, are we going to fill it or are we going to empty it? Yes. We're going to empty it because there's just one. So we're going to get rid of that one. You can erase it or you can just cross it out. Now, instead of having 11 electrons, we lost 1 electron. So it's going to become 10 electrons. We have 11 protons. We have 10 electrons. That's going to give us a total charge of positive 1. Okay? So that's plus 1. So square brackets with a plus 1 on the outside. What is our group name? Well, let's go find sodium on our data pages. Sodium is in group number 1. And the name of group number 1 is the alkali metals. What's the name of group number 2? The alkaline earth metals. Okay, so we got our alkali metals, we got our alkaline earth metals. So sodium is an alkali metal, it is in group 1. Alkali metal, group 1. And it is in period number, let's go back to our data pages. 1, 2, 3. It's in row number 3, so it is period number 3. Mass number. Tell your partner, how do you find mass number? It is protons plus neutrons, yes. Okay, so if we take our protons and our neutrons and we add them together, we get 23. And now our symbol, we just take the symbol for sodium, which is Na, and we know it's +1, so we'll just put a plus there. You could also, if you wanted to say Na 1+, or Na +1. Would you like one more? Okay, we'll do one more. And this one we're going to actually go to page 104. And we're going to do number 7 on page 104. We have phosphide. What element is phosphide? Yes? Phosphorus. Remember, negative ions end in "ide." Okay, so you take the name of the element phosphorus and you change the ending to "ide." It's atomic number 15. That means we start with 15 protons and 15 electrons. We also know that we have 17 neutrons. So, 15 protons, 17 neutrons, and now we fill in 15 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now, if you remember, each of these little rooms, quote unquote rooms, can hold 2 electrons. That one's full. This one has an empty space. This one has an empty space, and this one has an empty space. Is this atom going to gain electrons or lose electrons? It's going to gain electrons because we only have to gain 1, 2, 3 electrons. So we gain 3 electrons. The other way to find the charge, you could add up all the electrons and compare it with the protons, or you can say, I gained 3 negative things. That means the charge is going to be 3 negative. So I can put my square brackets, and I can put 3 negative. Okay? And now we can say, what group number is phosphorus in? It is in group number, let's see, here is phosphorus. Phosphorus is in group number 15, and it is in period number 3. So it is in group number 15, period number 3. Tell your partner, how do we calculate the mass number? Protons plus neutrons. So that's 15 plus 17 gives us 32. Hi. They don't form ions because their shell is already full, so it doesn't need to lose or gain. Okay. Yeah? So our ion symbol then would be phosphorus 3 minus, because we gained 3 extra electrons. Yes. Yes. How's that? Perfect.
Periodic table.
You can have a periodic table, yes. There you go. There's one last skill I need to teach you, and that's how to figure out the number of electrons if I just give you the charge and I give you the number of protons. So let's just quickly go to page 107. Okay? Page 107. Now, most of this should be familiar ground. If I give you this symbol here, can you tell me how many protons we have? Yeah, this number down here is the atomic number, and it tells us the number of protons. So the number of protons is 12. That's easy. The number of neutrons, now this number up at the top is the mass number. And we've just been doing a bunch of that. Yeah. And that is equal to the protons plus the neutrons. So if I want to find the number of neutrons, I take the mass number and subtract the protons. Does that ring bells for you? Okay. So we're going to take our mass number, which is 25, and we are going to subtract the neutrons, which is 12, and that gives us 13. The nice thing is if you have that symbol, you'll notice that the 25 is right above the 12. If you take 25 and you subtract 12, you get 13, and that's going to be the number of neutrons. Do you see how that's like right here, and it's right here, and that gives you the number of neutrons? It's kind of a nice little trick. Yeah? Now, electrons. We know that in a neutral atom, we have 12 protons, which means we also have 12 electrons. However, is this a neutral atom? Is it a neutral atom? No. It has 2 extra positives. Now, will we be changing the number of protons to give 2 extra positives? Would we still have magnesium if we changed the number of protons? No. So this has to stay. How many electrons would we need to have a 2+ charge? We would need 10 electrons. Okay, so the electrons is going to be the number of protons minus the charge. Okay, and in this case, that's going to be 12 protons minus +2. So 12 minus 2 is 10. You don't have to use that formula. If you find that formula helpful, you can use it. Protons minus charge is electrons. But If you're just like, oh, I know I have 12 protons, and I know my charge is +2, that means I need 2 more protons than electrons. That means my electrons have to be only 10. Okay? So you don't have to use that formula. You can just logic it through in your brain. Yeah? We're going to skip this next one because the net charge is 0, and we just did a whole bunch of those yesterday. Okay? And we're going to move to this one here. For this one, we are given the number of protons, 15. What element is that? 15 is phosphorus. So let's write down a P. And our mass number, well, our mass number is equal to the protons plus the neutrons. And so that's going to be 15 plus 17. And that gives us 32. So we have 32. The number of protons is the atomic number, so that's 15. And now is the one, this is the new bit. We have 18 electrons. If we have 15 protons and 18 electrons, what is the charge? 3 negative, because we have 3 more negatives than positives. So we will write 3 minus. Okay? Yeah. Huh? Oh, this is on page 108. My apologies. Now, if you're like, oh my gosh, Miss Spence, I don't know, this is so complicated, this finding protons, neutrons, and electrons, you can find videos on page 109 that take care of you and will help you out a lot. Okay? So I am going to suggest that for the rest of the period, you work on page 110. Oh no, not page 110. Sorry. Page 115. To 117. 115 to 117. And then 121. Okie dokie. And if you did not write the quiz yesterday, or if you didn't finish it yesterday, I will grab you a copy of it so you can do it today. And for the rest of you, I will hand back your quizzes from yesterday. Okay. You're going to be like, oh, okay. Okay, so let's see. I need Larson and Kinney. Somebody asked me yes. So, quiz from yesterday is here. Okay. There you go. There you go. You can use your periodic table. Okay. And Fernando, you've got your homework there. That looks great. Excellent. Thank you.
What date is it going to be tomorrow's test?
Tomorrow's quiz, if you do 115 through 117 and 121, you'll probably be good. Okay. So folks, this work here will get you ready for tomorrow's quiz. Yeah, that's your homework. Okay. Huh? What did you say? Whenever you want.
Oh, okay.
But your test is Friday.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Hi.
This one, number 2.
Yeah.
And an ion is minus charge.
Yeah.
Is always greater.
Yes. Yeah.
I said the wrong number. 10. Yeah, that's what I said. All right. I'm trying. SR is 38.
Perfect.
Wait, this guy, did you mark the other test?
I think so.
I'll go find it. Okay.
Yeah, now I'll get those practice quizzes. Yeah, just right there's great. Thank you.
I set my back. Oh, it's one of these things.
Oh, the numbers.
It's like that.
have it. I got that on my earphone now. No! Oh, I didn't spell it right. Yeah, nor did I.
It's one of those weird ones that it's iron. Yeah. Okay, so first of all, for this one, we need to write the simple first. Well,
It's only this page that I got wrong. If I spelled it incorrectly, and I spelled this incorrectly, that's all I got. Spelling is what I got.
here's numbers. Is the number of proteins.
How many of these?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, I got
Yeah. And then what else yes, but what element is number of
I'm sorry, I was an idiot.
Because this one goes.
No, different, because you cannot use the atomic and then ask.
I got one right.
What's the book of?
Yeah. I know, we write down something. Right. And then say, okay, now I need to fill in. Yeah. In just a second. Thanks, Carson. And then what goes down at the bottom?
Yep.
Okay, so this one, you're putting it in here. Look around it, where is it? Yes. Okay, so now you know it's our.
That's not right. You know,
Okay.
okay,
Species contains 29 protons, 36 neutrons, and 28 electrons. So, yeah, so you're gonna write, that's basically the isotope notation. So you're gonna write, Cu. Yeah. No, just the actual numbers, okay? Yeah. Perfect. Okay. I'm just gonna check him off on his homework. Okay. Homework.
I can do a better. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Open the volume.
So what you would say
Their volume is zero.
these two would be the same. Oh my god.
No, it's not.
But. One more positive. You don't matter if it's like, can I get that? And five
Or I.
Yeah, give me the deal. It just means that it doesn't really relate, right? So you're like,
Because you have 8 on the vector, I think that.
not a different. Okay, so yeah, let's just. All right, I got your quizzes to get back to you, Angela. Tristan K. Abby. I tried marking it and then I remembered you had attached it. Silly me.
I have a. Oh, shoot. Nice.
Abby. Evelyn. Jazz.
Nice. I have a question then.
Yeah.
So, do we add the third one for 18? Because then that would be perfect. It's for.
Okay, hang on. Evelyn. So it's fluoride 18. That means you have 9 neutrons. It has nothing to do with the charge.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay.
It
So,
has 9 protons, so there are 9 electrons. Right?
oh.
And in order to fill it up, you would need to add 1 more. Right? Because you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Mhm.
Yes? This is going to make 10 electrons. So your charge is going to be -1.
Oh.
Yeah?
Wow.
Sorry, Jess. Oh, Gavin, Tyke, Yaren, Brian,
I called it. I called it. I got the point right. You're an idiot.
Olivia,
Yeah, I
Jerry,
called it.
Awani,
I told you.
Ella.
Yeah, I told
Fernando. I mean, you can if you want to. I would just have you redo this section. Yeah. Okay. But you're only going to do that part. Okay. Yeah.
I asked TSP so TSP was.
I haven't finished things.
Yeah. No, you
It's a valence shell.
Valence shell is the outer shell. Hi.
Like rude marks from
You better be.
No.
No.
But if I do it,
Yes. So you can decide whether you want to do them. You can also decide, I know Aston is writing the test after spring break. You can decide whether you want to write it Friday or after spring break. Sometimes it's nice just to get it done, but it depends on how fast you figure you can catch up, you know? So I'm good either way. All right. So yeah. Sure. Yeah, for sure. Thank you very much, Tristan. If you get it all wrong, I will give you another version and you can get it. But you know you didn't get it all wrong because we did a few of them like sort of together-ish, right? Okay, good.
You think this year marks? Yeah, no, actually, yeah, it's all right. The only reason I'm not fishing for football, I'll get them to put.
Wait, so this one's when?
Anytime.
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 Marks.
Yes.
Okay, I'll come after school.
Okay.
I know, why?
It's something like that. You got to what? Especially electronics.
Oh,